Hello everyone, so I am here today to give you guys my first impression of the Letraset cartridge paper heavyweight. This is high quality smooth cartridge paper, aka cardstock to use for coloring with, well, alcohol based markers. All that scraps had got it in not too long ago, and I decided to throw a pack into the cart just to compare, because they'd also got in like the flex markers. So obviously this is it's made by the same company that makes flex markers and pro markers, etc. So it's kind of meant to be used with their markers. First thing to note is it's A4 sized, so that is like European or UK, I'm not exactly sure, it's their sizing, which is basically, it's a little over 8 by like kind of 11 1/4 inches. Yeah, 11 1/4 by like 8 1/4 roughly. Whereas, like, I'll just compare here, see if I can just make this go up a little bit higher so you guys can see. There we go. So there's that. That's the Letraset, and then here's our standard size cardstock, like our 8.5 by 11. Yeah, so it'd be 8 1/4 by about 11.5 inches is A4, whereas there's our 8.5 by 11. So it's just a little bit longer and a little bit skinnier, for lack of a better word, than our standard size cardstock here in North America, which is for the most part irrelevant, other than our cardstock is sized like our A2 sized cards is a half a sheet of cardstock, etc., etc. So unless you were going to use this for card bases, it doesn't really matter what size it is, but I just thought I would point that out. So yeah, it comes in pad form, so you flip off the cover and then it's all attached at one end, so you just peel it off like you would a pad of paper. And again, first thing I noticed is it's a different shade of white than the CC Designs cardstock, which is a very bright white, and I don't know if this is going to come across on a video or not. Like, it just kind of depends on camera settings. And it doesn't help that I'm kind of filming this on a crappy lighting situation, but yeah, these are a little bit brighter white. This is like kind of a warmer white. It almost has like a very faint like blush undertone in my opinion, but it's still white, so that's just the only difference. And then weight wise, it says 270 grams per square meter, I think, so I wouldn't even know, because I have CC Designs. I use 110 pound, and then I also have 90 pound, which is fairly thin. 110 pound is very sturdy. This is kind of on par with, like, by just the feel of it, I would say on par with about 90 pound cardstock. So like, it's got a good weight to it, but it's not super sturdy like the 110 pound is. So yeah, what I did was I stamped this little just CC Designs little birthday cow image. I stamped him with, I've got a whole mess going on here, Memento Tuxedo Black, like the ink that I always use for coloring with Copics. So I stamped it onto here. It stamps really nicely. I got a great image, and then I did just a little bit of coloring, and it's different. It's kind of hard to explain, but the color, it goes on nicely, it really does. It doesn't feather on this cardstock like it does with other cardstocks. Like, it just, I don't know, it feels a little bit differently. It kind of sounds weird, but I'm so used to using, I kind of stick with the same cardstock. Like, I use the CC Designs and have for, you know, years now. And then, like, so I just did two colors that are very close on the spectrum, so E25 and E27, so they kind of blend together like on their own. And I just find with the Letraset, I have to work a lot harder to get them to blend. Like, if you work quickly while it's still wet, it blends fairly well. But I went through here and I did all of them, and then I kind of went back to try and blend them, and I had a harder time getting a really good blend on here, as opposed to how I do it with the CC Designs. It just kind of blends effortlessly. It's kind of weird, but I think it would just take a little bit of practice and just maybe work in sections, which is something I've recommended anyway that people do when they're starting, is like you do a section at a time, color it, blend it, go on to the next area. So it's definitely a little bit different. it takes a lot of color to even saturate the cardstock. Like, it's barely come through at all, so that's kind of nice too. It's also something that doesn't overly concern me because every time I color with Copics, I always cut out the image or die cut it or whatever and adhere it to my card so no one sees the opposite side, so it just doesn't matter. But it is a really, it's a nice cardstock. Price point on it, the pack of 20 sheets averages around $8.75 American for 20 sheets. Just to give a person a breakdown, it would be about $6 for 20 sheets for the CC Designs cardstock. Because they sell it in packs of 10, it's $3 a pack. And then something like Copic Express cardstock is $5 for 10 sheets, so it would be $10. So it's kind of right in between the Copic Express cardstock and the CC Designs. So basically up to personal preference. Obviously, if you're in Europe and this is what is readily available to you, this is a good cardstock. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way trying to hunt down other brands to try if this is readily available to you. I think it is good. It's just different. So it's always kind of hard to adjust to something that you know, different than what you're used to. I'm so used to the CC Designs cardstock that I have a hard time adjusting to any other brand. I've done other reviews on white cardstock and I still preferred my CC Designs. So down the road I might fiddle a little bit more with this cardstock to see if I like it. It's more likely that I will probably just stick with my CC Designs because you stick with what you know. That's just human nature. But it is a nice cardstock. It just, you kind of have to work a little bit harder with it to be able to blend. And also right now my coloring's atrocious anyway. I've had a really, really long day and I'm not planning on using this on a card or anything, so I'm just kind of playing right now. But yeah, I still prefer my CC Designs cardstock to this. Mostly the biggest thing too is because this is more white. So I'm just being picky. But yeah, that is my first impression of the Letraset cartridge paper. And as always, I'll put a link to the different cardstocks. I'll put a link to my blog post and I'll put links to the cardstocks below, along with a link to the little image, this little cow image if anyone's interested. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye!